welcome. I am Ladi Akiridoluale. Tonight, PDP committee clears all candidates for the party's elective national convention as one of the major contenders, Chief Olabode George, pulls out of the race. More political parties to be registered before 2019 as INEC chairman vows to protect the integrity of Nigeria's electoral process. Finance Minister Kemi Adeosun defends suspension of SEC's Director General Munir Gwazo, insists the decision is to protect the capital market. And tensions heighten as violence continues for the second day following President Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital.
On business news tonight, Fitch Ratings lowers Nigeria's 2017 economic growth forecast from 1.5% to 1%, citing fragile recovery.
On sports news, former boxing world champion Manny Pacquiao reveals talks for a mixed possible fight with martial arts star Conor McGregor.
And from Abuja, civil society groups in Abuja seek the support of citizens for the federal government's anti-corruption campaign.
We begin tonight with the preparations for the People's Democratic Party's National Convention in Abuja tomorrow. Now, all candidates vying for the chairmanship seat of the party have been screened and cleared by the National Convention Planning Committee. The chairman of the committee, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State, also gives assurance of optimum security during the party's electioneering process. The convention is expected to help draw a roadmap for the PDP ahead of the 2019 general election.
Preparations are already in top gear for the People's Democratic Party's National Convention on Saturday. Party loyalists and delegates have found their way to the Wadata House, headquarters of the party, for last-minute checks. Candidates vying for the party's #1 position are also here for a private meeting with the members of the Convention Planning Committee. And after more than an hour of deliberations, journalists are called in to witness a presentation of certificates to the candidates, which formally clears them to run for the available position. There are also warnings about a possible security breach, and the chairman of the planning committee, who doubles as the governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, reveals that only delegates and authorized persons will be allowed into the venue.
At a convention venue, you may not have the usual large crowds that you have at the convention venue because it's going to be very restrictive. This is because you understand that we have to put in extra security measures to forestall any attack on the convention ground. We are proactive, and that's why some of us are here to support the work that the convention committee chair and all others are doing. So again, it's my desire to appeal to you all, supporting what the chairman of the convention committee has said, that the need for you all to encourage and cooperate with the convention committee and the various subcommittees. And then, most importantly, the need for sportsmanship.
Some of the candidates, already in high spirits, acknowledge the importance of the experience as one of the major factors in managing the affairs of the party, while others have their fears.
I had spoken in the last convention that the issue of zoning the presidency, the presidency to the 19 states of the north, with no exclusion in the north. And they also zone the chairmanship to the 17 states in the south. So everybody is from the south. As long as you are southerner, you are free to contest.
The major issue that is going, we will have a very serious concern for, is how do you manage the fallout of this. This is the first time in the history of this party that a zone is being put against another zone. It never happened. When would you have two brothers going for a family reunion and you create a fight between brother A and brother B.
The stage is set and everything appears to be ready. Delegates from the 36 states, including the Federal Capital Territory Abuja, will decide on who will eventually emerge victorious at the convention and lead the party to the polls come 2019.
Meanwhile, one of the chairmanship candidates, Chief Olabode George, has withdrawn from the race a few hours after he was screened and given the certificate to contest alongside other candidates. Chief George, who is also a member of the PDP's Board of Trustees, is alleging that the Southwest has already been cheated with the entrance of candidates from the South-South. He's also accusing the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, of undermining members of the People's Democratic Party in the Southwest on national television when he said they had never contributed anything meaningful to the success of the PDP. Chief George, before his withdrawal from the race, had campaigned vigorously for the chairmanship position of the party.
I've entered the contest on the fundamental predication of the micro-zoning principle as laid down by our founding fathers. The zoning principle, which was publicly reinforced last year in Port Harcourt, had specifically and rightly affirmed the Southwest as the zone to produce the national chairman. This binding proclamation was based on equity, fairness, and natural balance that hold any organization together. But this old, legitimate, and morally sound micro-zoning principle has now been thrashed, dumped in the waste bin, flung into the gutter by very little men who have compromised the pivotal moral anchor of civilized engagement for temporary selfish gains. As a result of these observed aberrations, wherein the positions of the national chairman has been apparently sold and auctioned to the highest bidder, I am an Omoluabi of Yoruba land, and I will not take part in this charade. I hereby withdraw from this brazen fraud and absolutely preconceived, monetized, mercantilist convention. The Yoruba people have been openly maligned. The Yoruba people have been savaged, tormented, treated with contempt, scurried, scoffed at, humiliated, and denigrated by little men whose sun will soon set. The governor of Rivers State, Mr. Wike, must, as a matter of priority and ethical importance, tender an unreserved apology to the good people of Yoruba land.
Chief Olabode George announcing his withdrawal for the race for the chairmanship of the PDP. Still on the PDP convention, the issue of micro-zoning the chairmanship position of the party to the southern part of the country appears to be a big issue that may be in the news even after the convention. While a member of the party, Mr. Adetokunbo Pierce, believes the party should honor its earlier decision to zone the chairmanship position to the southwest, the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, insists anyone from the south should be given the opportunity to contest for the position.
The PDP has a formula, micro-zoning, for zoning positions to south and the north. So what happened was the PDP zoned the chairmanship to the south. So the southern leaders met, the stakeholders met, and they said at the first meetings that the Southwest has never been, nobody in the Southwest has ever been national chairman of the PDP. Therefore, it was only proper to allow the Southwest aspirants to contest for it. The Southeast agreed. We thought that everybody had agreed until some candidates, some aspirants from the South-South, like Secondos, Chief Dr. C said they were interested in contesting and they were not interested in respecting the zoning formula.
I don't understand what you mean by gentleman's agreement. The party has zoned the presidency to the north and the chairmanship to the south. And the argument is that being an opposition party would want the best, we want the best candidates that will rally around the entire members of the party, rebuild the party ahead of 2019. And so for the position of chairmanship, we say, look, anybody who thinks that he has the capacity, he has what it takes to rebuild the party, should throw himself in. So the issue of gentleman's agreement does not arise. I can assure you that after tomorrow's convention, you will see that PDP will come out stronger and be able to be the viable opposition which you have asked that to be. I can tell you that after tomorrow's convention, that it will be a different PDP. It will be a new PDP that will withstand the ruling party.
Now let's take a further detailed look at this issue, especially surrounding the National Convention of the PDP tomorrow. I'm being joined live from our Abuja studios by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Dayo Adeyeye. Good evening, Mr. Adeyeye.
Good evening, Ladi.
Now, you've heard all the reports, the background reports leading up to this discussion. It would appear as if this convention tomorrow may end up being overshadowed by this issue of zoning or micro-zoning. What is the official position of the party hierarchy at this point in time ahead of tomorrow's convention?
I pray and I sincerely wish that this matter will not overshadow the celebration that we are going to have tomorrow. PDP members have arrived from all over the country and are in a mood of a celebration because they know that with the elections of tomorrow, that we usher in a new national executive, the party will be on the path to full recovery and to victory in 2019. The official position is that positions were sown to both to north and to the south. Several positions were sown to the north. Another basket of positions were also sown to the south. It was left for each of these zones, north or south, to meet among themselves to micro-zone these positions to the three geopolitical zones in each of the north and southern zones. I think the northern leaders met and micro-zone a lot of their own positions to the three geopolitical zones in the north. Unfortunately, the southern leaders had never had any opportunity to meet. They never met to micro-zone any position to any of the states, to any of the three zones in the south. So as we have it, all the positions in the south are open for contestation tomorrow, for contest tomorrow. The positions are open. So the position, it is not correct to say that the party did not microzone. It was not the duty of the party to microzone. It was the duty of leaders to have a gentleman agreement among themselves to microzone positions to their various zones. So it is not the fault of the party. It is not, nobody can accuse the party of not discharging its responsibilities. Now, we were fair and objective to everybody.
If we're going to look at tomorrow's convention and take a look at the background leading up to it, it would appear that there are some major stakeholders that are involved in this. Of course, you have the interim executive personified by the caretaker committee, you have the party's governors, you have other chieftains, the board of trustees, and so on. Now, tomorrow, there's those who are saying this is a make or mar convention for the PDP. I just want to ask you, because we're not having too much time, I just want to ask, what are you expecting out of tomorrow's convention in terms of security, in terms of the electoral process and all that?
I am expecting a very successful convention tomorrow. All arrangements have been put in place to have a successful convention. Security arrangements have been near to perfection. We have taken very great precautions to ensure that there will be no incidents at the arena tomorrow or even near the arena. As to movement of people, delegates to all those places, we have made very, very good arrangements for everything. And honestly, I can't see any crisis in the party. People are, board of trustees, national caretaker committee, the governors forum, everybody, we are all together. We are all on one page regarding this convention. Everybody in the PDP wants a successful convention, and we are going to have a successful convention. Forget about any people raising rumors that some people want to disturb the convention or something negative will happen. By the grace of God, nothing negative will happen. By the end of tomorrow, which I have newly elected leaders for the party.
Is on that note that we're going to have to leave it.
To their various regions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adeyeye, for joining us on the News at 10. Thank you very much, and I wish you success with your convention tomorrow.
Thank you.